Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. St. Lucia's Prime Minister celebrates 25 years as an elected Member of Parliament. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Wednesday, 25th May 2022. Details when we return.
Hubbard's Multi-Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived are new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Welcome back. Member of Parliament for Castries East, Philip Peer, is celebrating 25 unbroken years of service as a parliamentary representative for the same area. Peer attributes the long-standing stewardship to mutual trust between him and the constituents. Jason Darius of the DBS News World reports.
Monday, May 23rd marked Prime Minister Philip J. Peer's 25th consecutive year as the Member of Parliament for Castries East. The politician entered elective politics in 1992, but was defeated by the incumbent Romanus Lansico. He would emerge victorious in the subsequent general elections of 1997 and has remained MP of the area ever since, despite serving 10 years of this stint in opposition. Peer attributes this achievement to the unwavering faith of his constituents in his ability to deliver.
I'm elated. I want to thank the people of Castries East and for giving me the privilege and the honor to represent them for 25 years. It has been a long struggle, but out of these 25 years, you must remember that 10 of these years I was out of government. And during these 10 years, nothing happened. It was a deliberate strategy not to give any form of support to the candidates to the representative in the constituency, not one by the government. But we've had some successes. We've had some successes. We had some major infrastructural successes in the constituency. And I want to thank them for being patient with me. I want to thank them for supporting me, for defending me against all the unwarranted attacks, all the personal attacks, all the slander and the calumny against me. But I'm happy. I'll work with them, and I hope to, as Prime Minister, I hope to be able to take it to another level to improve the quality of life.
Peer says the secret to such long-standing service is the mutual trust between the representative and the constituents.
It's a matter of trust, and that is the link I have with my constituents. I trust them and they trust me. It's a matter of trust, the matter of not saying what people want to hear, but telling them the truth. And this is how I've operated. I've spoken the truth to my constituents. I trust them, and they trust me. And there's a loyalty that exists between us. That is a bond that's had to break. They've tried, and the opposition has tried. They've tried the same tactics all the time. It hasn't worked. I want to thank the people of Castries East. I really want to thank them sincerely from the bottom of my heart.
Peer says he looks forward to further developing the standard of living for residents of Castries East as he continues to be in their service. For the DBS News World, I am Jason Darius.
Trinidad and Tobago's Health Ministry remains alert and is taking all necessary precautions to prevent the entry and possible spread of monkeypox in the Twin Island Republic. More in this TTT News item.
Confirmation came from Minister of Health Terence Ziasing during Monday's Parliament sitting. He said health officials are doing everything they can and are even in the process of trying to secure vaccines.
I also had discussions with the University of the West Indies to ramp up genomic sequencing capacity so we will know which virus we are dealing with. In addition to that, we are proactively reaching out to all our local and international partners to acquire the vaccination JYNNEOS. The vaccination strategy at this point in time if we get the vaccines, is not a national vaccination drive like COVID.
The governments of Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago have signed an MOU for cooperation in a number of critical areas, including agriculture, trade, tourism, and culture. Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana fills us in.
The MOU was signed by the foreign ministers of the two neighboring CARICOM states at State House on Sunday, under the eyes of President Irfan Ali and the Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley. A special joint team will now be established by the two countries to ensure the implementation of the MOU. The MOU is also expected to see the two countries working with each other to enhance trade and investment and address those non-tariff barriers. The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry had called on the government not to sign the MOU until issues that affect the trade of some Guyanese products and produce with Trinidad were addressed. President Irfan Ali said the discussion between the governments of Guyana and Trinidad have been very focused and have examined areas of missed opportunity and areas where there is a need for improvement in the relations.
It has been very positive and forward-looking. And I would say this, it was very frank, very open, and it gave us an opportunity not only to examine a sector, but it gave us an opportunity to take the bull by the horn, I would say, and to identify in a very open and frank way missed opportunities, to help us to identify opportunities in the future, blocks to the opportunities.
The private sector in Guyana has been pressing the government to get Trinidad and Tobago to remove some of the trade barriers that have been hampering the export of some Guyanese products to the Trinidadian market. The president said the two governments are not naive about the situation.
We are not naive. We are not unaware of impediments or blocks or constraints or challenges. And in our discussions, we took all of that into consideration. But what we have concluded and chartered is a joint commitment on how we're going to secure the futures of the people of these two countries.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, praised the steps taken by Guyana and his country to enhance their relations, but he warned against not working together for the betterment of each other and the community.
We are limited only by our own vision and our own commitment to do what has to be done. Once we commit ourselves to do what has to be done to improve our circumstances, nothing will prevent us from achieving success. On the other hand, if we are timid, if we are defensive, if we are malicious, if we are uncaring, then time will pass us by.
The MOU sets the stage for cooperation with the wider Caribbean also, as Caribbean leaders have set strict timelines to address issues such as food security and transportation and logistics. The Private Sector Commission has welcomed the signing of the MOU. The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry has also said it is satisfied with the details of the MOU. And over in Trinidad, the private sector there is also lending its support to the signing of the MOU.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
One political analyst in Trinidad and Tobago says you cannot swap your own agricultural sector with another. There must be development in each island. The response follows a meeting with CARICOM leaders on the weekend, which led to Trinidad and Tobago signing an MOU with Guyana. TV6's Nicole M. Ramani has more.
Political analyst Derek Ramsamouche says yes, there is skepticism about CARICOM being able to work together, but revamping of individual agri-sectors is vital.
Question is the notion of reciprocity. Is there going to be any reciprocity? Secondly, the notion of restructuring our own agriculture sector in our respective countries. That is critical and that is important because you cannot just replace our agriculture sector by another agriculture sector. That's one. Two, CARICOM now have the opportunity once again to restructure how it functions.
Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday agreed to remove non-tariff barriers to trade in agricultural produce and fast-track the removal of transportation constraints. Today, Mr. Ramsamouche says there will be challenges.
I yet to find out the details of what exactly the MOU is. The MOU is an intention, and the objective being to work a mechanism to make that implementable. And that is where we are going to have some challenges in going forward. In a historical context, for 500 plus years, the Caribbean region have provided agricultural resources to Europe. However, since our post-independence in the region, we have yet to develop a proper food security plan, both at our different national levels and at the regional level.
When asked if he believes CARICOM leaders are willing to do what is required to facilitate better collaboration for the sake of food production, Mr. Ramsamouche had this to say.
There is a political price to pay for failure, especially when it comes to people and the affordability of food.
I hear that, but
they have gone into that space now, and they cannot come out of that space without getting a workable solution, regardless of what it costs to get it done.
Meanwhile, the president of the Agricultural Society, Daryl Rampersad, says not enough is being exported from Trinidad and Tobago.
If you look now at what is going out of Trinidad and Tobago, what is the percentage of the produce that is produced here that is going out of Trinidad and Tobago is less than 10% of what is produced by the farmers of TNT. So we have to question what is the benefit for our farmers of Trinidad and Tobago, and if such a venture again is going to compete with our farmers of Trinidad and Tobago.
Mr. Rampersad believes that if the new arrangement is not kept in check, there can be devastating consequences for local farmers.
See more and more farmers going out of business if the program is not properly monitored, right? In the commodities that we already produce, which again would be our hot pepper, tomatoes, sweet pepper, and so on, which we see when the foreign tomatoes come in and the foreign sweet pepper come in, it competes very much with our locally produced. If it is that we do not monitor such a system, we are going to see our farmers heading into problems. We are going to see the smaller farmers, right? We're going to see the smaller farmers leaving agriculture, as a matter of fact, because we also have to compete at the same time with the increase in import prices in terms of input costs.
Nicole M. Romani, TV6 News.
Hubbard's Motor Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.